healthy crowd at Poynder Park for the start of the new 15 season, and the home side were favourites to win this, being in the higher division. And they certainly came out firing, dominating the set piece up front and getting on the board early with a try on 13 minutes from the evergreen Bruce McNeil. 4 minutes later, scrum half William Tweedy got on the score sheet to extend the lead to 10 points to nothing. Both scores coming while Kelso were down to 14 men, with Adam Hall yellow carded. It wasn't a great day for goal kicking, with a strong swirling wind favouring Kelso in the first half, and they certainly enjoyed a big territory and possession advantage. Quarter of the way into the match and Gala hadn't been able to get into the opponent's 22, and we started to think there could be a cricket score when a third Kelso try came, Archie Barber gliding in to give the home side a 17-point cushion. Inevitably, on the first day of the season, there were going to be handling errors and mistakes, and while Kelso had plenty of chances to score more in the first half, a mixture of much better defence from the Maroons, together with those errors, meant the remainder of the first period was scoreless, and Gala would have gone into the break fairly happy with the scoreline, knowing they'd stemmed the tide and also had the strong wind at their backs for the second half. But within a minute of the restart, up popped Robbie Tweedy on the wing to finish off a clinical try, which would have given his team a try bonus point. But like last year's Border League, there are no bonus points to be had in this competition. Nevertheless, Kelso continued to put the pressure on their opponents, and Bruce McNeil completed a brace of tries with a sneaky effort which fooled everybody, but the try was awarded in silence until the crowd realised what had happened. Kelso were cruising at this point, but just when they began to take their foot off the gas, up popped Ben Gill to get his team on the scoreboard for the first time, with Russell Kerr converting. Jack Utterson came off the bench and really impressed, showing a good turn of pace to run in for Kelso's sixth try and restore the 27-point margin, a score which delighted the home fans. Utterson was involved with Kelso's seventh try of the day, this time creating the space to pass to Robbie Tweedy, who ran in at the corner to make it 37-7. To Gala's credit, they stuck to the task, and a second Ben Gill try was scored after a terrific cross kick, which Liam Herdman found hard to cope with in the wind. Gill was there to finish it off, and all of a sudden, Gala were into double figures. And they weren't finished either. An interception in their own 22 gave the Maroons a real platform to score again. And when the ball finally got out to Richie Mitchell, the young winger chalked up a third Gala try to make the score much more respectable, and Gala will be delighted that they managed to get to within 1 point of Kelso in the second half, and that will give them great confidence as they head into their National 1 campaign next week. For Kelso, it was a solid performance. Head coach Nicky Walker and his team will be satisfied with his team's work, although they'll certainly identify things to work on. But they'll now go into the game next week against Watsonians in the Premiership in fine spirits. Final score, Kelso 37, Gala 19.
Good overall, I think we just spoke there. First 65 were really good. We managed the scoreboard really well. We didn't let in any points until about the 65th minute, so it just kind of fell away in the end. Maybe boys are still a bit tired, the weather as well. Playing against the wind in that second half didn't really help, but 65 really good. The rest of the game pretty average, but definitely loads of positives and some things to work on still.
We knew it was going to be a hard test today, and we didn't really go into the game looking at the scoreboard. We're more just concerned about our performance and how we played. This is the first time all the boys have come together, so I'm pretty happy with the way we played. You know, we were against the wind in the first half, and that can be really hard to play against. So I thought we stuck in as good as we could in the first half, and then second half made a few silly mistakes. But when we started getting things going, I think we really showed what we can do.
It needs to be pretty close to what a Premiership level performance. We said that, so it starts in the warm up. Even when we get in, it needs to be ready to go, especially with a big game next week at home. But it needs to be really top level performance.
We've got a lot of talented players, and I think, like we say, once we get going, especially in the second half, we can show what we're capable of. So we'll want to move that forward onto next week. Cut out the silly mistakes. We can kind of iron that out in training, and then go into the Saturday and show what we can do.
We can't say we're going to do worse than last year. It can't be done. We're definitely aiming to be in that top half and in that top four again. We might sneak in hopefully, but start with next week. We know it's going to be a really tough game and really good session on Tuesday and Thursday night, and then into Saturday it's going to be physical definitely.
If we go in with the mentality that we had today, next week, you know, we're going to come out like quite well. I thought we matched up to them physically and mentally today. It's, you know, in the scrum, like the front row, credit to them, that was against a big strong pack, and for the most part we done really well. You know, defensively we're very physical, especially in the first half. You know, a lot of dogged defence, and then just an attack. You know, when we take our chances, you can see from the second half that you know, it pays off, and that's against a Premiership team, and you know, Kelso are a team that went off into the playoffs last year. So the fact that we're coming up against a team like that, and you know, we're putting in the performance, I think it's a good show for what's to come this season.
In the other Border League match at Riverside Park, Selkirk won against Jed Forest by 31 points to 21, scoring 5 tries to 3. Stuart Cameron, ITV News.